Oh, hi there. It's me, Greg Miller from IGN, and up at noon, of course. This is Jennifer Hale. She's been the voice of everything, but today she's here to talk, very special, one-off video just for you, about our favorite Mass Effect moments. Who are you in the Mass Effect there?
I am Commander Shepard. I am FemShep if you play as a girl, and why would you not? Because what do you want to stare at for 8 hours?
Thank you. Way more than 8 hours, too. Yeah. I wanted to stare at the planet and just mine the hell out of it, but that's another story. FemShep, a huge part of video games. I mean, like, so iconic right now. How did you get that role? Was that knowing somebody? Was that just auditioning?
Just auditioned, yeah.
Has that been the story for most of your big things?
Yep.
Okay.
Everything.
So then, you talked about it a bit on Up at Noon. Everybody watch Up at Noon.
Watch Up at
Noon. It's over on that IGN thing. We'll put up a link right here for you to go see it. What are your favorite Mass Effect moments? No particular order if you don't want to go. What are your 5 Mass Effect moments that stand out to you?
Well, the number one thing is that there is a FemShep. That FemShep, that she got her own box. That they put FemShep on the box. That was the greatest thing ever, and that was because of you guys, and and thank you so much.
For the first 2 games, was that kind of a what the fuck of like, why isn't this on there?
You know, I'm so busy, I don't spend a lot of time looking back and looking around to see where I'm noticed or not, so otherwise you get, it gets really weird. It's not that important. But it's an honor. Like, that was going to happen sometime. Yeah. Somebody was going to push through that wall, and I'm so stoked it got to be me. That's a huge honor.
Okay. That's number 1.
That's number 1. Okay, number 2, that I got to do it. No. Moment-wise, I would say saying goodbye to Garrus. You know, all that ending stuff. That was hard. Something happened in that Garrus record where I couldn't talk, and then Caroline, the director, couldn't talk, and then I was like, just biting my cheek because I'm like, Shepard does not cry, Shepard does not cry, Shepard does not cry. And then probably recording the ending.
Well, how does that all speak to you? You talked about on Up at Noon a little bit, right? That it's kind of all these things out of context, and so as you're going, especially with Mass Effect, where the game has so many different branches, does that all stick in your head that you're going through and you're like, well, I know that this character means something to me, or is it, I mean, how do you bring to life those kind of moments where, and me as a player, right, like, you f***ed Garrus. That's what my FemShep did. So for me to say goodbye to Garrus, it was a huge deal, right?
Gosh, I had never thought of it in those terms. Wow. Oh, sorry, audio guy. Wow, hold on. I got to gather the pieces of my brain that just got blown all over the room back in my head. You know, I think more of it, that game was so emotional. By the time we got to 3, the writing just jumped up to this level that was amazing, and the game was I was just so connected to everybody that I didn't plan for it to hit me. I just knew who I was saying goodbye to. I knew what our history was, and I knew that this was it. It was just like, oh yeah. As hopefully, because my job is to fully live in those moments, to believe it with every bone in my body, so that you can. Because if I just sort of fake it or fake cry or whatever, it's like I've cheated you guys, which blows. Yeah. Okay, so that was 1.
3. Put in that camera for you. Oh, well, there I'm on the camera.
Okay, so 3 would be punching the reporter.
She had it coming.
Yeah, she totally did. I always say that Paragon Shepard is who I wish I was, and Renegade Shepard is what I want to say.
And then real Jen Hale somewhere in the middle.
So, it depends on what day it is. Gosh. And then, let's see, that's 4, right?
That was your
3.
3rd. Now you got 2 more to come up with.
There's so much. All the Elusive Man stuff. Now, for stuff
like that, or, I mean, Martin Sheen, right? He brought that guy to life, as we're talking about.
So did.
Were you in the studio with him? No, this is all separate?
By myself. Okay. But they have a system called Veda that's proprietary to BioWare that they've developed where you don't use any paper. Like, a lot of times in my sessions, I can flip forward and kind of get context and get details out of what's next in my little stack of stuff.
Sure.
But I can't do that with that because it's on a monitor and they control when it goes through. But the good news is that if someone has been in to record before you, you get to hear them in your cans, if you're wearing cans or through the speaker. So it's almost like you're talking to them, which is amazing. Unfortunately, I was first in a lot of my records, so I didn't often get to do that.
The reason Martin Sheen's so good is because you were there.
No! Well, I'd love to take credit for that, but no. But I did have sometimes when I could do that with Allie Hillis, or with Martin Sheen, or with Trisha Helfer, or anybody in the cast, Steve, Barr, Steve Bloom, all those guys. It was great. And in some of the recordings, we did some pickup stuff with the ending scenes with Anderson. And I got to go back and forth with him a little bit, which was just like, whoa. That would probably be my other favorite thing, was getting to go back and forth with everybody when Veda was loaded up with other people's dialogue. Because we don't get to work together enough, and there's an extra magic that happens when you're actually in the room with somebody. It's, you know, the sum is greater than the, what's that
parts,
saying?
right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. I finally remembered it. Yes.
Hey!
Hey!
And that's her 5th favorite Mass Effect moment. So, you have one more in the docket. Do you have anything else in the chamber?
God.
What's one more that stands out to you about the whole Mass Effect experience?
Ooh, getting to play a freaking action hero.
Right.
You know, a real, like a soldier, like someone who's constantly pursuing something, and it was never about, not about TNA, it's not about, you know, anything but saving people and doing the right thing, because wouldn't that be amazing if that was your life, you know? I mean, hard as it is, you know, to have such a huge purpose would be incredible.
Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, what did you think of the ending for the trilogy? There was I don't know if you know, a bit of a hubbub on the internet.
I heard about that. I heard about
Ryan
that.
Altano. Oh,
what? People were upset. Oh. Ryan, were you upset? I thought that it was really well done, honestly. I think that it's, yeah. I think anybody out there knows who's a writer. Writing is hard. Writing endings is really hard. So imagine an ending where you've got, you know, many thousands of co-creators. How do you do that?
Yeah.
And I thought BioWare was, and Casey and Mac and the team were genius in the way they took everybody's input in and the strong reaction. And I love the way that some people got really personal and nasty with them, and they just set that aside and they went, let's answer you guys. And they came up with, oh, that's the other thing that I loved the most, was the Citadel DLC. I loved that. That was so much fun. And they came up with that, which was just like a little love letter to the fans. It was beautiful. Yeah.
Jennifer, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for being the voice of Shepard.
Thank you.
Good luck to you and the rest of your
playing.
Galaxy scanning project.
Thank you so much.
Watch Up at Noon every Monday on IGN.
Up at noon.